day 4 is focusing on mainly around the coach as a team coach, really, and it talks a little bit about things like the team chartering, team dynamics. We're also talking a little bit about what happens with the different types of teams and helping you to identify the different elements of that. So we work through one of the models, which is a Kassenbach and Smith model of team performance and team development, which kind of takes you from working group through pseudo team through to potential team, real team, and performing team, high performing team. And this is the kind of the visual use for this. And what we want to do is help you guys experience what each of these different areas are and to understand where you are on the paradigm. So if you're working in a working group, it's not a team, it's just a group of people working together, you know, in the same area, but maybe not aligned on the same kind of goal. So it's really output based, not outcome based. Pseudo teams often kind of more than working groups, they kind of often start with a bit of kind of conflict, they kind of pull together. It's often plain lip service, but there's really no kind of, you don't really get that kind of honesty. They're not, people aren't kind of connecting together as a team. And pseudo teams are not really kind of the lowest point of performance impact. Actually, a working group is higher performing than a pseudo team. But it's a step on the journey. A potential team we're really kind of looking at there is that they're moving in the right direction, yet they haven't really established collective accountability. So there's still that idea of individuals having accountability in this space rather than the entire team. The potential team here is also, it's becoming effective and it's making its way up the curve, but it's the steepest performance gain between potential and real team. And it's one of the hardest stages to make. And part of the stuff that you do as a coach, part of the work you do with the team is helping to really understand the connection that these guys have to basically build real teams. Now, this is really kind of the heart of it. We want to make sure that a small number of people with complementary skills are equally committed and holding themselves mutually accountable for that common goal, a common purpose, and their own working approach. Now, this is what you'd see centered in sort of Scrum with the team chartering. You'd see it in different kind of agile teams, but it's a lot of times you find that there's a lot of dysfunction that happens in this space, so where people think that they're real team, but they're actually not. And I suppose part of understanding where you are on the model is the first step to understanding how to then progress in the right direction. So as an agile coach, and through the tools that we share with you, it's about helping to identify and assess where the team are as well. Of course, at the top end of the scale is the high performance team, and this can be quite a dynamic kind of session. You can move up to high performance and back down to real and back up to high performance, but what we do, it doesn't really stop just at being a real team. We can sometimes get really kind of higher performance, personal development goals, shared accountability. There's the power of the team connecting with each other. Now, we understand that, you know, at the moment with everything going on in the world, human connections are really difficult to have when you're kind of doing things remotely. And so some of the techniques you need as a coach is how to then face into those kind of issues and help people to connect to each other. So the coaching opportunities here are different and the challenges are different. And so when you're supporting teams or Scrum Masters as an Agile coach, you need to understand like where they currently are and how you can help unblock some of those human connection issues as well. And only then really that those teams can start gelling, working together. You get the power of the team working really, really strong together. Now, there is a difference between a high-performing team and a team approaching burnout, and it's really important to recognize those stages as well. So we focus a lot of this stuff across day 4 we're on now, right? Yeah, day 4. For day 4, it's all about the team. It's all about the coach of the team. And if you scroll out a little bit for us, Ben, as well, you'll see that we kind of have reflection points in here as well, and exercises. You'll see that there's lots of grids of things to do. And each one of those grids are often focused around a single breakout room for the group. So we'll actually have people, you guys moving into different breakout rooms. You'll be able to discuss in your smaller teams to really experience some of these things. And there'll be some other stuff around teach backs as well, depending on which exercise we work on. But as Ben mentioned, from day 1, we're putting ample time in place for personal reflection as well as group reflection. And there'll be sections inside the workbook that shall allow for those reflections as you go along. So day 4, focused on team, focused on the Agile coach as a team coach, and looking at all the different sections in there about how we can help the Agile coaches in the room understand where they currently are, and then how to help create those alliances and chartering with the teams themselves. That's the end of day 4.